imaginatively. Now, I've already referred to this, but I'll just give you some quick examples. Jonathan Edwards is the master here. Jonathan Edwards believed in the importance of what he would call the image. Now, it's what you and I call illustration. See, a story is an illustration, and many people say, use stories in your sermon, that'll help. And by the way, stories are good. But a story is only one version of an illustration. Let me give you another example of an illustration. I'll give you 4, actually, real quick. When Jonathan Edwards says, in Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, when he says, quote, all your righteousness would have no influence to uphold you and keep you out of hell. Let me say that again. All of your righteousness has no influence to uphold you or keep you out of hell. What is he saying? That's a very important doctrinal statement. He is saying, basically, there's no salvation through works. He says, all of your righteousness could not uphold you or keep you out of hell. No matter how hard you try, your best deeds will not keep you out of hell. Right? But it's an abstraction. But he doesn't stop there. This is what he says. All your righteousness would have no influence to keep you out of hell any more than a spider's web could stop a falling rock. That's how he ends the sentence. Any more than a spider web can stop a falling rock. Now the point is, we all know something about a spider web. If a rock comes down and hits a spider web, it doesn't bounce. You know, in other words, here's a spider web. The rock comes through, it doesn't go, no. It goes, it's as if the spider web's not there. If a rock is coming down through a spider web, it's like the spider web's not even there. The rock doesn't stop at all. What a very interesting illustration. It's a sensory experience. That is, it's something we've actually seen and felt, connected to the abstract doctrine. And so what it does is it gets across very vividly the fact that your good deeds will in no way keep you out of hell. What he's doing is he's bringing 2 fields of discourse together, or he's connecting an abstract doctrine with something that you've experienced through your body, through your senses, through your eyes, through your fingers. And basically, that's what an illustration does. It takes something that you may know is true, but by connecting it to the memory of a sense experience, it makes it feel more real. God himself, I won't give you 4 examples, but God himself gives us an example when he says, for example, in Genesis 4:7, he comes to Cain. And God comes to Cain and he says, well, basically in chapter 4, God comes to Cain because he sees Cain, depressed, and his face is fallen, and he sees the murderous thoughts in his heart toward Abel. And he comes to him and he basically is saying to Cain, sin is going to get you into trouble. That's not what God says. Here's what God says. Sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it. Interesting? See, what God is doing is he's likening sin to a crouching tiger, hidden dragon. He's likening sin to an animal. And he says, sin is crouching at your door, its desires to have you. It's very interesting. What it's trying to say is, sin is a dark reality in our lives. If you sin, it means that you bring something that's going to eat you into your life. It's going to distort your emotions. It's going to darken your eyes. It's going to create patterns of habit that you can't break. And it's remarkable because, of course, what God is doing is he's taking the idea of a crouching panther or a leopard or a predatory animal. Have you ever seen, we all probably at certain points in our lives have seen a predatory animal pounce on a little bird or something like that and destroy it. And God is saying sin is like that. You give sin an ounce of an inch in your life, and that's God doing it. God's using a sermon illustration. So you better do it. See, unless you do that, the heart is not reached. And what's important here is, yes, stories are important, but word pictures are just as important. To say your good deeds cannot keep you out of hell any more than a spider web can stop a falling rock. That's not a story, but it is a powerful illustration.